Hey team, welcome to this 30-day video challenge where I'm going to release 30 games in 30 days. These games are games that you can play with your team at any time. Some of them include skills, some of them include conditioning, and honestly, some of them are just tag games that you can play with your team. So make sure you tune in every single day this month where I'm going to release a new video with a brand new game. And before we get started, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. So let's get into this 30-day video challenge. I'm super excited to bring you these games. Let's get started. Hey team, welcome to day 11 of this 30-day challenge. I'm so happy you're here. Day's 11 game is not really necessarily a game, but it's more of an activity that you can do. It's a timed around the horn. So if you're familiar with around the horn, when you throw it around the infield, this is just a timed version of it, and there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with it. With the ages, I would say that ages 10 and above can play. The younger kids don't really understand fully how the ball is supposed to go around the infield, and they may not be able to make those long throws. So it's up to you. Obviously, you know your team better than I do. So if you think that your team can handle this, then by all means, go ahead. But I would say that 10 and above is perfect for this. So it's a timed around the horn. And the equipment, all you need is the kids to have their glove and one ball. Where you play in the infield, right? If you have multiple teams, so if you're doing a timed version and you want to have multiple teams going against each other, you can have like one in the infield right here. You could have like one in right field and then one in left field. And you could have like 3 different teams going on, right? Or you could just do one at a time. So you could have one team go and then have the other players or the other teams behind the other players, have them step in and then it's their turn, and then have team 3 step in. So you can do it however you'd like. Now, with the timed around the horn, the ball always starts at catcher. So the catcher starts with the ball, and you start the timer when the catcher releases the ball. All right? So there's a whole bunch of different patterns that you can choose to do. I would suggest doing the same one for everybody because obviously that makes it fair if you're timing them, right? If you're doing multiple of these games, you could just do all sorts of different patterns just to try to make it fun. So the first one, the most popular one, the most common one is catcher to third base, then third base to second base, then second base to shortstop, shortstop to first base, and then first base back to catcher. So that is the most common way that I've seen it being done. You time it from the catcher to the catcher. So as long as it takes all the way around, that is the time, right? And you can even have them do it multiple times in a row. So you could say you need to do it 2 times in a row. So it would go catcher, third, second, short, first, catcher, and then back around through. And then the second time it hits the catcher, then you would time it. So it all depends on what you want to do. You could do it multiple times. You could do it one time and then switch the teams. So whatever you would like to do. So the next pattern would be you could do to third base and then to short and then to second and then to first and then all the way back to catcher. So you'd literally just a circle all the way around. You could do that. You could do second to third and then third to first and then first to short and then to second and then to third and then to catcher. That's something that you could do. Another way that you could do it is instead of starting it at third base, most people start it at third base because that's kind of what you do in the game, right? But you could go to first base, right? So if you go to first and then short and then second and then third, home. If you want to go to first, second, short, third, home, that's another way you could do it. Just start at first base instead of third base. So with this timed around the horn, the big things are you can have multiple teams doing a little competition, and you could have one in the infield and 2 in the outfield, or you could just do one, everybody on the infield, and then just be switching through. You could do multiple times in a row, so not just the first time. You could do it 2 times in a row, and then that's the time. And there are literally so many different patterns that you could do, and you just have to choose one. You use these positions, so catcher, third, short, second, first, first. These are the positions that you use for around the horn. Most everybody just stands at the baseline, so in the baseline here, and then the catcher is at home. But it's basically as fast as they can get it around the horn and then back to the catcher. So the timer goes from catcher all the way around to catcher. You decide what pattern you want to do. You decide how many teams you want. You decide how many times each team throws it around. It's all up to you. It really works on quick hands and seeing how fast the kids can get it out of the glove and make good quality throws. That's really what this works on. So this could even be like a drill that you do is around the horn. So there's a whole bunch of things you could do with this and use it how you would like to with your team. That's about it for timed around the horn. I think I explained everything. If you have any questions, as always, leave a comment below. I'm so glad you tuned in for day 11 today. Hope you like this game. Hope you can incorporate this in your practice plans. Make sure you tune in for day 12 tomorrow, and I will see you there. So I hope you enjoyed today's game, and I hope I explained it in a way that you understand and that you can explain it to your team so you can incorporate it into your practices. This is just another game that you can add to your practice plans to have some fun during your practices with your youth baseball team. Before you go, don't forget to grab your free 2-hour practice plan. I made it just for you to help you out in your practice plans. And in the description below, you'll also see a free baseball equipment sizing guide. There's how to get more playing time. There's how to do batting practice. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I made for you for free. Be sure to grab it before you go. It's all down in the description. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, this is Building Better Baseball. I'm Coach Hart, and I'll see you next time.